All right, hey everybody! You guys saw the post that we did on Friday about what's happening in Sweida. Lots of drama, some scandal involved. I got here one of the great soldiers of Sweida of the Druze resistance army, Monty. Monty, thanks for being here. I want to talk about Sweida. I want to talk about what our rescue. It's crazy. We're out there, all this adventure action, crazy people are watching kids jumping in our arms, right? And I was like, why isn't the Tim Ballard Foundation, we're not seeing the results I thought we should be seeing? It's because it was being diverted the whole time. And it just makes
First
me
of all,
sick
Tim,
for
thanks
you
for having
guys.
me here tonight with you. I've always wanted to do that before. And internet was so bad we could not even communicate properly at the beginning, if you remember,
Oh
back in the
yeah,
old days.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
heading into Schweda, Monty was
So
my guy. Okay, and,
yeah,
and we're like planning the whole operation. And it was
wow.
shut down. Like, sorry, no electricity right now. I'm like, oh my gosh. Getting up at
Yeah,
two in
yeah.
the
That
morning,
was that
seeing if
was
Monty's up.
that was during the crazy days, like when the first contact was the first hope because we felt like we've been left alone and we've been facing like brutality unwitnessed in history. And then suddenly somebody from outside, American, cares about what's happening here. And that's for me, for the guys here, it changed a lot of it lifted us more up. It gave us more strength. And then when you came, seeing is believing, buddy. People
Oh,
saw you
nobody
here.
nobody believed we were gonna do it. We were threatening to
Yeah,
come in. And even
yeah,
your Druze family and the leadership in Israel were like, you're not gonna do this. They were
yeah.
surprised. They thought I came to do a video and leave, and then I came back and I came back and they're like, why do you keep coming back? And then when I told them I was going to Syria, Sheikh Tarif, he's just like, he didn't believe me. He's like, when are you gonna go? I said, upon your orders. If you tell me to go, I'm going to go right now. I'll go to Jordan right now, me and Coop. And he just like looked at me and he felt my spirit was sincere. And he just goes, starts calling taxis and like people. I'm like, yeah, I got Monty. Monty's got this, man. I just got to get myself in and out. And even you, even you're like, I'm like, hey, bro, do you think I'm going to die if I come in? And you go, and you said, no, the worst that could happen is they could turn you away. And then I think you're like, or they could kill him, but I don't want to say it.
It
I
just
knew, I knew.
I knew that you're gonna be coming anyway, and I was like, it was dangerous.
So they stepped on the guy who was injured here. After they injured him, they go back with the tank and they ran over him.
We studied the route in our own way, in our own basic way, I mean, in what we have, and we thought, yeah, it might work. But then also there was this amount of risk, especially when you guys left. You remember what happened, and it was dangerous. And for us, what you did made people really feel like we are not alone. We do have brothers, and of course, our Israeli brothers were there with us in the air. Just the sound of the
Yeah.
Zeke,
But
just
they
give
can't
you
go in. They
comfort.
don't have the magic passport. They don't no one in Israel. They wanted to come, but they can't
Yeah,
go in. You need the Stars and Stripes passport to get in.
yeah,
So
yeah. And then I remember when you guys came, and then I asked Cooper, like, how did you guys do it? Like, he said, yeah, we've done it a lot of times before, and we know how to do these type of. So he gave me some tricks, tactics, and yeah, I'm sure
we
that
won't
it's gonna
reveal
be
all
needed.
of them. We won't reveal all of them here. But yeah, that's not our first rodeo in the Middle East. We
Yeah,
we did similar work. Not as dangerous, I'll say, but we did similar work in Iraq, and after ISIS had taken over Mosul and the Nineveh Plains in northern Iraq. So we knew how to get around, and we knew the kind of basic security protocols and risk. But this was next level, low footprint infiltration. I will say that. And like you said, the exfil was even worse. I remember I've been to your apartment, your safe house, and like, okay, now everybody knows we're here. It's one thing going in, no one really knew we were coming. Now everybody knows we're here. There's assets inside Shueida, as you know, who are talking to the bad guy. So we all knew like going out's going to be a different ball game. But we did it. I'm here. I'm alive. I think. I think I'm still alive. But it
Yeah,
got
and then
crazy. We got taken, and
just for me, tracking you guys like on live location just to see where you guys were, and then the location stopped somewhere there, and then where you guys are, and then started making calls, and the guys freaked out, and then I got the message from Cooper. It was the moment you guys arrived safely, I felt relief because I know that uh, the message will arrive because that was the
well,
whole
it
thing.
was it was scary. I learned later that my wife was tracking me on Find My, and she was seeing the same satellite imagery you were seeing. She's like, "Why'd the car stop? Why is the phone going into a little shack off the side of the road?" That was the interrogation room. I mean, they got us, right? And we just look. It was a spiritual thing, and I'm not even going to say everything that happened. You know the story. I'm not going to reveal it. It's almost too sacred. There was 2 or 3 times of fatal ends potentially, and the last one was a miracle that had to do with a sandstorm and an angel figure. I don't know what to call this guy. And that's a story to be told later, but it was absolute divine protection that got us out. And I had all the evidence, the crime scene, which you helped me with. We got the evidence to prove that the ceasefire had been violated. I understand I was working with Ambassador Huckabee. He knew I was going to do this, and he's a man of God. And he said it's going to be a miracle in and out, but I can do things that they can't do. The Middle East, as you know, it's like threading a needle. It's like good guys and bad guys are in every province, every country. And so if the US government had sent someone in to do what I was going to do, and something went wrong, you could be in World War III in an hour, right? But we have deniability because we're not US government. We are independent humanitarians. So this is how we've been working for 20 years, by the way, or for 15 years. We work as agents, unofficial, and that's a big benefit to governments. It's how you beat a deep state, by the way. It's how you beat the deep state. You can tell the deep state to do this, and then you have this independent group doing the same thing, and whoever gets the better product back first, and you can test reliability based on those circumstances. But the other thing is we felt Messiah, he loves you guys so much. He knows who you are. I didn't know who you were until I got in. And I'm like, who are these people? This is not the Yazidis. Okay. This is not some backwater group. It's a hidden remnant of power. And I got that when I got in there. These prophet figures, your cousin. I call your cousin Simeon the Druze. Okay. That's his code name. That guy knew I was coming. Remember you dropped me off at his apartment? And
Yeah.
and I walk in there. I don't even know why I'm supposed to be here. And I walk in, he has got like a banquet set up for me. Like, oh my gosh, grapes and breads and like a whole table feed an army. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I do intermittent fasting. I'm not going to eat for 5 hours. And he's like, no, the food's symbolic. The food's symbolic. I'm like, what? And he literally said to me, I think I told you this. He said, I knew you were coming. What do you mean me? Like you? He said he saw me in a vision or a dream like 2 years before, and it was going to follow a massacre in Sweida, and then he saw that I was going to come. I'm just spinning like, you ain't the Yazidis. Who are? And then he starts talking about these scrolls with the ancient truths that go back to Abraham, Jethro, and that wasn't the only guy. Okay, so I'm like, okay, this is a special people. If they say they're a remnant from Abraham, I'm going to believe it, right? So, but see this hat I'm wearing, Monty? It says "No tenéis miedo." Okay,
No sé,
I
medio,
got this in
claro,
Brazil because something
claro
similar
que
happened
sí.
to me. I left you and went to Brazil, and we have our
Yeah,
political
with
problems
the
there as
last mission.
well. Yeah, the last
Uh,
mission. And my friend, President Bolsonaro, is in jail under corruption, and the people are scared. And my message was, don't be scared. For the same reason Messiah protected me in Sweida, he's going to protect you in Brazil. You are the strongest Christian nation, maybe in the world, the second most populous at least. And they gave me this hat and the Brazilians gave me this hat. No tenes miedo, don't be afraid. And so that's the
yeah,
spirit of the Druze. No tenéis
exactly.
miedo.
That's
Stand in
no, no,
faith
no,
with
no
Messiah.
tenemos miedo, claro.
Y
Claro,
tú
no
hablas
tenemos miedo.
español también.
Claro,
That's why
poquito, poquito.
this guy's multi. This guy, look at Monty is a special operator. This guy, he's transnational. He speaks so many languages, and he's an operator by trade. And you're a videographer, which is amazing because we
Cinematographer.
need that too for evidence, for to tell the stories for the donors. So
Yeah.
the problem is you're kind of
I'm
in
a
slavery. You're kind of a
cinematographer,
slave
but
right now.
we could not, I didn't have time to do any proper filming. I filmed some stuff, but then there was a lot of things. It was crazy during the first 4 or 5 days. There was a lot of dead bodies in the street. There was a lot of wounded people still in the street, hidden somewhere underneath a
Oh,
burned car or somewhere. And then
oh, man.
we
I saw
started
blood when you
documenting.
toured me through the city. There's blood stains still everywhere.
Yeah,
Like
everywhere. You can still
that's
smell
just
it.
Here's the MRI unit. You can smell the death here.
it's
You can
just
still smell
horrible.
it now. The massacre of the hospital when we went, outside where all the bodies were. I remember passing from there during in between the massacre and where between the national forces came and the tribes between those days when we first met. And then I've seen a big pile of dead bodies, and you don't you cannot pass from that street close to that hospital. It was jammed of bodies. And so I didn't have much time to document, and we were just trying to steal some gasoline from any car parked in the street, just so we can provide for the hospital some gasoline so they can turn a small generator or something. And you had to do that between dead bodies, there was a lot of tribes in the city, and there was a resistance as well in the city, and it was chaos. So we had friendly fire, they had friendly fire, there was bodies. It was bad. It was horrible because the amount of damage they created in the city. I'm someone who lived here, and I was driving in the city. I could not recognize my neighborhood. Images does not match. And now we don't have fear because somehow any species in the kingdom of all organisms, they fight for themselves without asking permission, without getting a green light from some country or from some board or some council. You fight for yourself to survive, and it gives you a lot of peace, actually. Although they're here, they're breaking the ceasefire daily and especially at night, and yet we feel safe because we took our decision. There is no going back. And if we were chosen to be here to do our best, so if you won't fight this war, which war you would fight?
You have the peace of the Messiah because you know who you are, and when you made your decision, when you drew the line in the sand, what I feel when I felt there, when you made that decision, you felt the peace of the Messiah say yes, draw the
Yes.
line, trust in me, and we're gonna win this thing.
You
You're gonna
believe,
win.
and you will see what God can do. I was someone who's so far away from God, to be honest. Like, I'm someone who does filmmaking. My life is pretty busy. But then when you feel like you need God, all you have is God. All you have is the angels of God. You see them helping you, and I think you're one of those angels in a form of a human being. Coming here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
And if that's true, it's only because I, as a person, went through exactly what your nation went through. Okay,
yeah.
like I went through it. I remember your enemies also attacking your brothers in Israel. I was attacked the same month of what we call Jacob's trouble. Okay, so they went on October 7th, 2023 is exactly when the whole world turned on me. I was crushed in the press. My own church lied about me and tried to defame me, excommunicated me from the community. I mean, it wasn't a real they actually excommunicated themselves by excommunicating me. They just don't know that till Jesus shows up and points it out. You can't do that in his name, right? But anyway,
Definitely.
and so what happened to me is literally the news cycle was Tim Ballard in Utah. Tim Ballard. And then what broke the news cycle of Tim Ballard being an evil monster was October 7th. It was like, huh. So I focused on it and I had this compassion for the people. And that passion extends to you. It's the same war. And so I'm watching, and interestingly, I'm in Jerusalem when the Gaza thing gets resolved, and my recovery also ended with their recovery. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that
Yeah.
gave me a lot of compassion for those who come under the attack of this world horrific, what I would call the king of Assyria figure from Isaiah, the political Islamist, right? And so that gave me compassion and to go to you because that war is the same war. So when you have that kind of compassion, you also have angels and you get to a place just like you said, Monty. I was so
Yeah.
dead, suicidal almost, that the only thing that could take me out was Messiah. That was the only thing that could take me out. And that's by design because when I finally grab his hand, and my wife, luckily, thank the Lord, had my hand too, and he pulls us both out, puts us on a rock, and now he stays with you in ways he wasn't before the
Yeah.
persecution. And so now he looks at you in the eyes and says, okay, son, are you ready to really do some work? You know, now I have him. And I think that's what I'm experiencing you saying and what your people are feeling.
You said you have a lot of American values here. Seems like you guys are Americans. The same, respect and admiration for
Yeah.
liberty, for freedom, and these ideas, it's just like matching. And I know that you felt like we've been facing the same issue. It's for us really, if we and when anybody that this now comes to Sweida, hopefully in the future, they will feel like they are in a first world country. People are
Because of
civilized.
the,
You've seen how we're dressing up. You've seen
yes.
people are okay. Just
But,
we're
Monty,
open-minded. Yeah.
it's deeper than just how you act. And yeah, it seems like a Western civilization, but I'll tell you on a spiritual level, and this is my beliefs. I believe what we call the Gentile remnant. Okay, that's my doctrine that I believe in. I think it's the truth. Is the same people that became a remnant from the house of Israel that founded modern day America. Okay, and that remnant. Okay, they made the same covenant that you've made, that the Jews made under the Abrahamic covenant. George Washington made the same covenant. He emulated it and it worked. They said, be righteous in the land and prosper in the land. His exact words on April 30th, 1789, the day the Constitution was born, he stood at Federal Hall in New York City and he said, the smiles of heaven can never be expected upon a nation that disregards the eternal rules of order and right, which heaven itself has ordained. It's a covenant recipe. And so, what I recognize in you is a spiritual bond, both having participated in a remnant movement, a remnant from the house of Israel. Now we want to be gathered, and you want to be gathered, and the Jews want to be gathered. I feel it. There's a gathering, and that's what your cousin said to
Yeah.
me. He says, "We
Yeah,
are a
yeah,
remnant of
sure.
Israel. We want to be gathered." That's what he told me. I'm like, I want to be gathered. I want to be part of this whole end time scene, and so it's this beautiful spiritual bond. And when people someday visit Schweda, and that will happen because the Druze are about to be a world power. I promise. It sounds crazy. I'm not crazy. I know who you are now. You're about to be a world power. You're going to bring forth truths and scrolls, and it's going to contribute with all the others. And the whole world is going to know who the Druze are. I'm going to make sure of it. I am your witness. I know who you are, and it's a beautiful
I know who
spiritual
you
thing
are. That's the
happening.
thing, you're someone special, and anyone who's going to be achieving something, somebody needs to get there, try to ruin the plans. A lot of people, don't underestimate envy. Don't underestimate evil. There are people who build their compass based on that. From my experience, and I'm really frank about it, I rubbed shoulders with you. We lived together here, and we spent time and days together. We've eaten together. We spoke. You slept at my place, and I checked every detail in you. How do you speak? When do you speak? How do you treat people? And in every aspect. And I totally believe that Tim Ballard is a hero. He came for the right thing. He is fighting for the right cause. And he's doing the work where a lot of Americans, like he's doing the work of the whole Americans. By our eyes, we expected more from politicians, especially from Republicans. And we have Tim Ballard. Tim was for us a support. You kept us going by the spirit. So right now, we fear for America. We feel for Europe. You've seen what happened in Australia. You've seen what happened in Syria, and they are making us believe that they can change, like bring a wolf that's a wild animal and tame it and make it make him a pet, or change him into becoming a pet. So there's a lot of activities going on in America, especially Muslims Brotherhood lobbies, that they are under different names function in America. They have support from politicians as well. You will always find people that you can buy. And but let's say there's a lot of examples that's functioning inside America right now. They're lifting the sanctions. They're bringing Al-Jolani closer to the U.S. Policy. But let me tell you something. Here, we trust the American policy. We are sure that America won't do anything that's going to be harming minorities in Syria, especially under the conditions that Israel is going through. Well, Israel is going into it. Faced terrorism. We also face terrorism. We have to find a solution to get rid of terrorism so we can stop war in the whole region. Stopping war means bringing the good people to contribute to each other. All sorts of religions, all religions. It's so colorful here in Syria. But those guys they came in with brutality only. Within 1 year, they have made a lot of massacres like unwitnessed in history. What they've done on the coast of Syria, Latakia, Tartus, in the middle, the Christians of the middle of Syria, the Christians of Damascus, the Christians here in Sweida. I think you've heard enough stories from Christians of Sweida telling you what they witnessed here. And they just think that somebody is giving them a green light. I trust that, the US policy now are treating terrorism with terrorism mainly, because this Jolani guy, he knows how to solve these issues because he was an ex-ISIS. Right. So yeah, we are relying on, the best judgment of America in that regard. Yeah. But yet we still have some issues because, one word in a statement can change the whole thing. So you get someone like Thomas Barak, with all due respect, sometimes, he does shine a little bit the image of Jolani, which we disagree. And I know that Mr. Rubio has ideas against it. I know that there are a lot of characters in America that's against it. We need to bring them all together.
Yeah. I'm glad that you still have faith in the American. I'm going to take my Brazil hat off. Oh, look at that hair. Look at wow. That's
good.
Sexy hair, huh, Uncle John? I'll put my American hat on now, okay? Oh man, this hat's kind of messed up. But this is the hat I was wearing when I came into Schua. You're right to trust the American policy. You have amazing people who know what's going on. Congressman Brackeen, by the way, and Stoltzman and many other, they're fighting every day for you. They work in a massive bureaucracy, right? And they're threading needles constantly. But I was in DC last week. They're fighting for you. They're holding hearings for you. Okay, let me tell you what happened to me. Why did I come out there? It's crazy. I was sitting at this desk writing a book about the ancient covenant, and I was writing about the Yazidis right here on this desk. I was writing about my experience there, and I'm watching the news, and I'm learning about this strange word called Druze. I'm like, what is the Druze? And like the Spirit of God just said, get on a plane and go to them. I'm not kidding. Like no one asked me to come. Okay, so I call Coop, and Coop's like, yeah, I feel the same thing. We jump on a plane. I think 2 people knew we were coming. I drive up to the Syrian border. I'm just following God. And I start doing videos and I'm saying, open the gate. Bibi, open the gate. There's a military gate in Hadar. I'm like, open it up. I'm going to go in. Like, what are you going to do when you get there? I don't know, but Messiah will tell me. Every time I'm in Israel, I just say Messiah instead of Jesus. I don't know why. It just comes out. And so, we stop the video and like, okay, now what? I'm like, we just wait for further instruction. I get a call within an hour, okay, to go to Jerusalem. So we just speed to Jerusalem, go to the King David Hotel. They take me to the basement. They open the doors, and there is Congressman Burkine and Stoltzman and Walker and Ambassador Huckabee, who I know. And I'm like, hey guys, I just take a seat in the corner, like, why am I here? And they're like, no, come here, come here. We saw your videos, like, tell us what we should do. I'm like, okay, first of all, why are you here? And why are you asking me? I just did videos, like, I'm not a Middle Eastern expert. And they're like, no, you were saying the right things. And I stood up and I started talking. I'm like, okay, here's what has to happen. Corridor, this, I got to get in, open the gate. And I still didn't know why I was saying open the gate, but the Holy Ghost was telling me, say, open the gate. There was an Israeli rep there. We don't open the gate for civilians, and you're a foreign civilian. And they said, well, we'll try. 8 hours later, they called. They're going to open the gate for you. So anyway, and then I started learning more about what was happening, who you were, meeting with your brothers on the Israel side. And that's where I learned a lot of the spiritual stuff started coming. I'm like, who are these people? I end up going back to Congress, to DC, with those same congressmen. And first day that the recess, summer recess closes, first day, that night, Congressman Burkine, Stoltzman, all these people, okay, are like, Tim, get in here. And some of Bibi's people came, and we started presenting, and Congress, these guys, these are all the conservative, kind of, more like Christian conservative, even within the Republican Party. And they're just like, what's going on? What's the mustache thing? Why? Because they're looking for religious persecution because there's some triggers that can come in. I said, it's their covenant. It's the sign of their covenant with God. It's sacred. And so I said, when they do this, it's religious persecution. Okay, perfect. We'll use that one. Bum, bum, bum. And so they're going as fast as they can. And then I told them, and they said, this is so funny, Monty. One of the congresswomen, I think from South Carolina, awesome woman, a military vet. She's like, now who do you work for? Are you with State Department or are you with, DOD, now DOW? And I said, and here's what I said to her. I said it as a joke, but as I said it, I'm like, it's actually true. I said, I just work for Jehovah, because with Jehovah, there's no red tape, no deep state, and the retirement benefits are phenomenal. And I'm laughing, and she's laughing, and I'm like, that joke actually said that's true.
That works.
And I said, I'm going to Israel right now, and you guys better get that corridor open, because I'm going to test the corridor, and either I'll get in or I'll get a bullet in the head. So you better protect me. That's what I said to Congress. And I jumped on a plane from DC and came right back. And that's when I made entry, and all the crazy miracles started happening with you. But that's the story of how we got involved. It was completely like organic, beautiful, spiritual, going without purse or script or knowing what you were doing. And that's when the Tim Ballard Foundation was born this past summer, because I needed money to help you guys. And so we literally are building the boat as we're sailing. And I knew we were going to raise so much money because the cause was so just, and these people are so beautiful, and I know how to raise money. So I'm asking from day one, donate. And we're going in, I'm looking at my phone, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I should be taking $1 million with me, and I couldn't make the money. It wasn't coming in. But the press response, my social media was through the roof. And then I start seeing people saying, oh, we're so grateful what you're doing. I just donated to our rescue. I'm like, what? Now, I don't defame like they do, so I didn't like blast them. I just kind of let it go. Like, what's going on? So then I sent an investigator to look into it. Sure enough, they had taken my name in the press. One of their board members says I'm mentally ill, and he believes these liars, okay? But interestingly, I wasn't mentally ill enough to not steal my brand and my name. You see what I'm saying? The gross irony of this?
Like for us, we think like people needs to do an action, organizations need to do an action, because people from day one, they knew that you're going to be bringing help here, and people saw you coming here, risking your life. So we know that somebody is holding that money somewhere.
We found out it's the old foundation that I started. And when I got lawfared and attacked during the Jacob's trouble time, they started defaming me and disparaging me And then they end up settling with the bad guys after I was winning in court. And so
Yeah.
the donor dollars, they did a settlement and gave my enemies money. Those are the same enemies, if you remember, that started going online, Celeste and Mike Boris, these guys, and they start saying it's all fake in Syria. He's not really there. It's all PR, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
Yeah.
and so ISIS, they're aligned with ISIS. That's who our rescue gave money to.
Yeah.
So not only are they
Yeah.
withholding, I'd say stealing the donations, they're actually sending some of that donations, not to you, but to the enemies of you. It's like,
Yes,
how
of
many
course,
times are you
of
going to
course.
punch these guys? Right?
course.
It's just horrifying.
course.
And we're rectifying it now. And we will get lots of money too, I promise. And now I figured out what the dam was that broke what should have been a flood to you. So we're going to fix it. But I'm
We
so
hope so.
sorry that people that use my name to actually thwart your efforts, my efforts, Messiah's efforts. It's very,
Yeah,
very.
it happened here as well in other cases. We witnessed also people wanted to help from other countries, Druze from Israel, Druze from other, some, it happens. They use our pains and agony, and it happens in the wartime. What we're really concerned about, really, we don't want to teach. We are fighting terrorism, right? We are the victims of terror because those terrorists, don't attack each other; they attack us. But of course, when they're done with us, they're going to be attacking each other. They're going to be attacking anybody till the end of the day. Like, they just love war. They just love bloodshed. And what we are afraid of right now is, like, if you go to the story of Ahmad al-Shara, he's a terrorist that worked for Qaeda, and then he worked for ISIS, and then he established HTS, and then he became a president. And now he's being welcomed in so many political circles around the world. I don't want to give the kids an example on a terrorist that makes it to a president. It's dangerous. If we're going to be fighting terrorism, we have to fight the ideology of terrorism first, just to go and work on programs, rehabilitate kids of Syria, because 3 million or 4 million kids in Syria during the last 15 years, they didn't have any proper education, cultural education, ethical education. There was a war, and they were just feeding those kids with ideas of terrorism.
Yeah.
Go kill Christians, go kill Druze, go kill Alawites.
They're attacking the whole world right now. And you nailed it when you said, why are you going to tame a wild animal? We only have 1,400 years of data that it doesn't work. You can't tame this wild beast. It's just going to play nice until you're not looking, and then do to us what you experience. You're ground zero. Gaza's ground zero. Nigeria's ground zero, right? Do you want to know what it looks like in 20 years, 15 years, 10 years? Ask Bondi Beach what it looks like. Ask Monty what it looks like. Ask Israel. It's happening, guys, and we're trying to rip the smokescreen. I had a meeting yesterday I'm going to tell you offline about. I'm working with a lot of, I love the Druze. If it's a Druze person, I know I can trust them because I got Druze eyes. When I got there, everyone's like, I look like everybody in Sweida. They're making fun of me like we have the same color eyes. But I'm working with some Druze people who aren't in Sweida, okay? But you're a nation that got split by false borders and boundaries. This 3,000-year-old beautiful tradition. But you are hidden, and there's some benefits to being hidden because you stay under wraps until Messiah says, "Come out," and then boom, it's too late. It's like a cool operation. But we have plans for worldwide counterstrikes on this horrible, demonic, devilish thing called political Islam or Islamists. And it's you got to get rid of the smoke screens first and counterstrike second in different ways. And it's a weird war. It's a war. I call it neo-unconventional warfare. Or we call unrestricted warfare, fifth generation warfare. It's you use everything and everyone, demographic warfare, information warfare, cyber warfare, psychological warfare. We've never seen anything like it, which is why the West is just like, blah, 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 everything's good. They're nice people. Like, guys, I'm not saying that there's not peaceful Muslims, and I'm not saying that the Muslim demographic isn't the one that gets hit the hardest and victimized, like the Gazan children, but wake up. And so we got a plan. I'm going to talk to you about it offline because it's a deep strategy, and we're really excited about it. So, brother, let's do this again because you're the voice inside.
We should do it more often.
And just know, I'm glad you have trust in the American people. I have trust in President Trump. I have trust in Congressman Breckeen, he's your hero. I promise you, he's your
He
hero
is.
on the
He
political
is.
side,
He is. Sir
and
Lindsey
he's not going to
Graham. A
stop.
lot of
He's
people
not
who
going to stop.
support it,
Yes.
and we believe in the long term policy. I think right now they are trying to get the best deal for us. That's what
Yes.
we're building on. All
Yes.
I want my fellow Americans, my fellow Israeli brothers, to wake up for those Islamic Brotherhood organizations that's functioning in America under so many names, which I can share links with you. Because there are something called the Syrian Dome. The name came from the Rock Dome, and they are doing a lot of experiments inside America in terms
Oh,
of how they
absolutely.
can establish mosques. And we are not against Islam. Islam is a part of our culture, but for us, it doesn't work. I'm gonna be honest with you. You've seen our lifestyle. We would work normally. We would be okay as another American state. You can consider us another American state in terms of being open-minded, being open to other cultures and religions. We have this latitude, which they don't have, and we just want to have our time to heal, to reconstruct our lives, and to have the self-determination. We need you guys to support us, to have our word, to listen to what we want to say after this massacre, what people wanted to say, how would they feel like they want to be in which type of a political system that they want to live. Let's ask them those questions. We don't want to ask people, what do you want now? Let's all focus on giving the people the right to vote. We cannot vote right now. So help us up in that.
We're going to help you. You know me, I will die on the hill at this point because you become family to me. So I can't wait to get back. I'll be out in Jerusalem and up in northern Israel to meet with, Sheikh Tarif and the others. I will be back in Sweida, bro, as soon as I can because I feel homesick. As crazy it is, I feel homesick for a besieged city. I do. It's
Yeah,
very personal to
yeah.
me. Very personal to me after what I experienced. I didn't know you at all, and now you're my family like overnight. And we share the
Yeah.
same covenant theology. We understand what's happening, what's going to happen, and just know that I got you. The American government does have you. They just have to get through the leviathan of bureaucracy and threading needles and not starting World War III. But I promise you that President Trump has your back. He can't be vocal about everything. They got your back. We got to get through a big, crazy maze of deep state and all sorts of craziness. But in the meantime, I do represent America because America has a legacy. It's scriptural. It's from Isaiah that we liberate the captive. Liberate the captive. That's the legacy and heritage of the United States of America. And I know it's the same heritage that you have and that Israel has. And that heritage will keep us unified. And I will represent that banner, okay? We will step forward and be that banner of freedom to liberate the captive. And I know this, that if I'm ever captive, the first person I'm calling is you and your people because you will come liberate me. I know that. I know it's two-way street. I watched you guys in action, man. We were in a war zone. We had bullets going off behind us up in the office. Like,
Yeah.
dude, your soldiering is so inspiring, man. Your militia. I love it, man. It's like, boom, the Crusades, man. Like, let's go. Like, rise up in the name of Messiah and conquer this beast. So we're gonna win, bro. I love you. I love all your people. Tell everyone I love them. Tell them I'm coming back. I love those little kids, man. I've never seen these little kids. They didn't even know me, and they're running up to me and touching my face. Wasn't that crazy? It's like an old
We'll
uncle had
see
returned home
you
or something.
soon. Yeah, with the better conditions when we fix their situation, when we fix their homes, bring them back to their houses, give them books to read, teach
That's
them
right.
good things about life, teach them about love and loving others, and having a country where everybody has a right, where everybody can live freely with dignity.
That's
And
right. Just
the organization, and for us, you might be the only American who came here not just like a journalist. You came here to help. You're the only one. But for us, quality is what matters. So we have Tim Ballard. So we're happy to have Tim Ballard
well,
here.
I'm growing the army. So next time I come back, there's gonna be a lot of other servants of Messiah, okay, that are gonna
Yeah,
come
and also
and
about Venezuela, we need to go to Venezuela to
that's the next
also
on the
do
list,
some.
bro. That's the next on the
Yeah,
list.
exactly.
We got Brazil. We're working Venezuela. I think I came back
Yeah,
from. I was in like over a dozen countries since I left you. To start operations going, and I met with the leaders, and the world's gonna see a change. there's a light
Yeah.
that's coming, man. There's a light that's coming from heaven. That's
I've
Messiah,
always had the
Jesus.
feeling that I want to make this country better. You know, this is God's plan to
He's got a
have
plan.
this events, have like meeting you also when you were telling me you don't choose countries well. You don't choose your countries well. You remember that message? Yeah.
It's okay. We'll just
So
change those countries that we chose poorly and make them blessed again. And they will.
yeah,
They'll be
yeah,
blessed. We know who wins. Messiah
yeah.
wins. Okay, we know
Yes,
that. And
of
so
course,
the
right?
only question is, which side are you going to be on? The winning side or the losing side? I
Yeah,
suggest we choose the winning side because we know what it is already. And you have chosen it, your people have chosen it, we've chosen it, and I will see you as soon as I get up there and tell everyone, tell the kids especially. I really love those kids, man. Tell them I love them. That little girl
sure.
that I promised her I'll get it back. I
Look
said I'll
at
get it back. I am going to get it back. I'm going to do it with
yeah,
lots of help and with the help of Messiah and all our team, but we're going to get it
yeah.
back. We're going to restore what's been lost and make you better than ever, actually. It's going to be a net positive at
It's
the end.
okay.
You watch. You watch. Okay, brother. I love you. God bless you. God bless my family, my people of Sweida. And we will
But
see
there
you.
now,
Let's do this again. This is a great conversation. Let's
yeah,
pick it up and do another one.
definitely,
Okay,
definitely,
brother.
for sure.
Send my
Yeah.
love to your
Thanks a lot
cousin,
for having
to
me.
Simeon, the Druze, and everybody. I love everybody. Tell them I love them so much. I think and pray about them every
Of
day.
course.
I do.
Of course. Of
Okay, brother.
course.
I
You
love you,
also
man.
say hi to Matt and the guys. You
I
guys take
will.
care.
Okay, I
I
love you,
love you,
brother.
Matt.